Yes, in the last session, we have seen that how we can actually go ahead and ping it. If you remember, we in our, sorry, it is writing here. In here, if I write down the command of pinging, right? So if I write down the command of Ansible all mping, okay, which is which one? etc hosts. Okay, we have a file called, yeah, okay, 1 second. Ansible. Uh, in 92 and 78, let us just confirm the IP addresses once. This guy is 78, right? And this is 92. 172, 31, 87, 81. Okay, fine, great. So it is giving us that Ansible command not found basically, right? So, all right, fine, great. Not an issue. Let us try to go ahead and let us try to run the ping command. Actually, let us try to find out where is Ansible installed if it can find it out. So, actually, I was using a different user, right? Not this one. It's Ansible user I was using. You know, what was the name of the user? Ansadmin something, na?
Yeah, answered me. Yeah,
Uh,
password. Yeah.
now it is fine. So now if I run this command, it will work out. That is Ansible all mping, and one should pass, one should fail. Exactly. So one passes and the other one will fail. This is this machine 172.31.87, and this will pass. The other will fail because it is a local host. Okay, fine, great. So now what we shall do, we shall try to change a little bit in our hosts file. We'll see that how we can make the hosts file look a little better. So we'll go inside over there. So I'll go to like let's say sudo vi etc hosts, or let's say etc ansible hosts file. I want to edit this. Now, this one is not required. You can just let it go. There is a local host. So what I wanted to do, see, 92. Okay. So I want to put a headline for this. So this one, I'll call this, let's say my web server. Okay. So you can just put a name. So I want to call it this web server. So you can have all your web servers be below it, whatever you want, right? So, and your localhost also can come. I mean, say let's say this is a local host. That also can come over here. So whatever the IP is for localhost, but that is not required anyway. We can leave it. But the main thing is that you can put these headings, web server, and you can note down all the web servers. If you have multiple web servers, let's say 1.2.3.4 is a web server, 5, 6, 7, 8 is a something like this is a web server. Then you have got let's say DB server, okay. So you can mention them also over here, like let's say whatever 12.45.78.98. Just giving you an example. In this way, you can keep on writing over there. Now, if I write all these things and if I save it, now that's a very bad idea. But anyway, if I go for Ansible all ping, then see it did this one, but then the things are failing, right? So the others are failing over there. But anyway, that's fine. That's okay. The does not exist. It will definitely fail. But this is the way of to write it. So this is something that I wanted to show you and never forget this. You can put headings within square brackets, and then you can keep on writing your stuffs. Arre, arre, arre. As of now, we'll be having only one, that is the web server, and our ping will perfectly work and it will end up. See, it ends up, right? It gets the ping and it ends up over there. So this much it was perfectly fine. This much it actually worked out, right? But now let's say we want to go for installation of something on this machine, right? I want to from this machine, I want to install something on this machine. So now on this one, let us say if I want to install, for example, Mm, okay, let us try to install MySQL, let's say MySQL server, MariaDB. I want to install MariaDB. Now let us try to see if there is MariaDB or not, right? So I'll write on which MariaDB, no response, nothing is there. Which, so there is no MariaDB installed over there, right? So if I try to go like sudo service uh, MariaDB, sudo service start MariaDB, right? MariaDB start, it will not work out because there is nothing called MariaDB. It just does not exist, right? But let's say we want to install MariaDB on that machine, right? And we want to install that from this one, from the left-hand side machine. That's what Ansible is for. So we will today shall learn how to write down playbooks. When you write down playbooks, through that you can directly push it. But let us going to do that. So we're going to do over here. We're going to just simply write down Ansible all because all the machines I will do it, right? So I already changed the hosts file, and you saw that we can write down multiple servers over there. So let us say that we have written multiple servers and I want to operate on everybody over there. So I can go like Ansible all, right? Sorry, Ansible all, and I'll show you the help file for this. Okay, so there are a lot of things are over there, right? So anyway, this is one of the very much important part, become user. We'll come to these things anyway. So now you can see this is your basically Ansible all help, right? So you got a lot of options over there. So the ones that we shall be using, let me try to find it out for you over here. uh, dash 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 dash, no, not required. Syntax check. uh, okay. mm, all right. So I'm not able to find out. They're definitely there, but there's so many of things I'm just not finding out all of them over here. Okay, not an issue. Fine, cool, not an issue. Let me write it down by myself. Okay, so you'll understand. Ansible all, right? What I want to do is that I want to run a shell script. Okay, so I'll write m shell, not a shell script, basically a shell command. Shell command means some command that you will typically write down over here. That is called a shell command. Okay, so let us try to run a shell command, right? And the command is going to be, let's say, uh, okay, let us try to play with one particular thing. Let's say we want to just simply go ahead and we want to um, echo a particular command. We just want to echo a particular command, let's say, right? So let us try to do this thing. This will be a little bad, but let's try to do this. So echo, let's say, hi. So you know what happens if I write an echo hi over here, it'll just say hi, right? And here I'm writing echo hi, right, from this one through shell, right? That's a very bad idea. Typically we don't just use it for echoing something. In fact, echoing we do not do. We usually create sorry, install stuffs and do things like that. But anyway, let's do this. Okay, it failed. Unrecognized argument test. The s was not required over here. I thought I required it. Okay, hang on a second. Here is the output. It gave you an high, right? Let us say I want to run another command. Okay, so you know this command, right? So if I run, see this. Okay, did I get an output for this? Okay, what was the command? It's not curl if config.go. This is the one that should give me the, okay, it showed me the this particular things basically. I mean, yeah, this is the public IP 54.152.215.160, right? It showed me these ones also. Anyway, just look at this. This is basically when you run this command, whatever output you're getting, that you can control it from here. So you're getting the public IP. So curl inform in if config.co shows you the public IP of a machine, right? So you're getting the public IP, right? Let us try it even more. Let's say we want to go for simply if config, just in, so we can get the IP information, right? I'm doing it. Okay. Command not found, non-zero return code. Okay. Why? What happened over here? Okay, this command didn't work out. Okay. Failed. Command not found under bin shell. Okay, all right. So I think this will not be able to be run with the shell command. Typically, the shell module we use, this M stands for module, by the way. We typically use the shell module where we want to perform certain activity like installation and things like that, right? Let me show you by doing the actual steps. Anyway, this if config didn't work out. Typically, you go for installation of things. Let's say I want to go for uh, yum install. Let's say, okay. Now EC2 user is not root, right? It cannot do it. I think. Let's try to do it anyway. Yum install. Let's say MariaDB. Okay. Let's do it. Yum install MariaDB. Let us see what happens. We got a failure, right? We got a failure over there. It says that it cannot be done. Now, if I run sudo yum install MariaDB, now see what will happen. Let's wait. I think I did a mistake over here. I should have sent the Y as well. Yes, here we go. Okay, it's not coming up still. Which MySQL? How is it found out? Here you go. User bin MySQL, right? MariaDB is nothing but a MySQL client. So you can see, or MySQL server also you can say, if you're installing MariaDB server. Here we go, right? So it downloaded all these things. MariaDB was installed, right? So last time the mistake I did was I did not write the Y. So it was waiting for this Y for me, right? So anyway, so now you can see this 49 MB installation. It has been installed. MariaDB is running. So we can install a database completely over here. Let us see. Okay, let us say after this I want to run like uh, this is not actually done by this particular thing. You should usually use a playbook for doing these things, but anyway, MySQL secure installation. I think it might work out, it might not work. Let's see. Okay, this will not work out because this requires certain user specific information that I need to write on. I mean, if I go for this, let's say MySQL secure installation, I think I need to install MariaDB server, which I do not have. Let me try installation. This is not the command. Install is the command. No, this is not working out because I installed MariaDB instead of MariaDB server. Let us say, had I gone for MariaDB server over here, but I don't know it will work or not as of now. Let us see. Right. So now come over here in the right hand side, right? So I did not do anything in this machine, right? Sudo service MariaDB start and see it is working. If you remember the same command I had written earlier also, if I show you the history, or maybe I just go up a little bit. I had written this command earlier also, sudo service MariaDB start. That point of time it told that there is nothing like that, even it not found. But this time I ran sudo service MariaDB start. This time it worked. Are you getting the points, guys? Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, at least you understand the picture, right? What is happening in the left-hand side machine from the control node, I'm controlling the managed node. I'm not even coming here and doing anything. I'm just doing it from here and it is working, right? So that is the particular thing, right?
Isha,
Hmm.
in left side we have added that machine into that, right?
Yes, yesterday only did it, no? We added it, right?
Okay.
This is why. Okay. Fine. So we can see we can completely control the right hand side machine from the left hand side machine. So that means the this particular guy, our control node is able to manage our managed node without any problem, and it is working perfectly fine, right? Let us try to write down a simple playbook. Okay. Now the question is, what is a playbook? First of all, a playbook is basically a combination of multiple tasks. Okay. So see what happens. The hierarchy goes in this way. So we have a task. Okay. Just to kind of. Otherwise, leave it fine. That's okay. So basically, what happens is when you have certain small tasks to do, a task can be as small as installation of software. It can be installation of a software. It can be, let's say, printing out some data. It can be um, getting the current date and time from another machine. So whatever it is, right? So sometimes it is important. Let's say a machine is in another time zone, so you want to just fetch the time and date and time to figure out whether the time zone settings are proper or not. So you can do anything. So whatever you do, all these small things that you do by writing one command. So whatever you do by writing one single command, right? What I can achieve by writing one single command and pressing enter, of course this is not a command. Whatever I can achieve by running a command and pressing enter, that is considered as a task, right? Whatever you can do by running a command is known as a task. And when you have a particular task, then what you can do is basically you can combine these tasks together and you can build a play. You can combine tasks together, you can build a play. And when you combine plays together, it becomes a playbook. Okay, so playbook contains multiple plays where each of the plays are collection of tasks. Are you clear? Playbook, combination of plays. Each of the plays is a collection of tasks, right? So let us try to go ahead and let us try to kind of play with this particular thing. I'll start with a very simple playbook. I want to operate on the manage node from this control node, right? So I'll start with a very simple playbook. So another thing I'll show you. Let us say I want to remove. I am removing MySQL server from the right hand side. Okay. Sudo yum. I think it is remove MariaDB server. Now if I go like which, or let's say, yeah. So see, what I wanted to do is that yum install MariaDB. If I write MariaDB server, okay. So you can see you need to be root to perform this command, and that is why when I wrote it from here, I sent the sudo. If you remember, right? So this is what is sent. There is another option. Without writing sudo, you can also write another thing. Let's say I can write become. I think this will also work out. Let us see. And here you go. So become also works out. So when you write become, that immediately means become root. Sorry. Kannada ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ. Okay. Okay.
He's telling like
wait.
she's telling like 8 o'clock also not opened.
Oh, 8 o'clock open agilla. Okay, you take key togolli and do the things. Okay. It is yours. Take it. Okay. Sir, no. Sir is not here. Okay. Cool. Fine. Sure.
Sir, you can manage.
Yeah, somehow. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Good that you are here in the online, right?
Yeah.
All right. So, when did she say 8? I didn't even hear the word 8. She told it in Kannada, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So this thing got recorded, right? I'll remember this. So see, when I'm writing double dash become, this is what I showed you when I showed you the manual. Okay, that is gone right now. So this is the one I was showing you, right? Ansible help. Okay. This is the thing I was showing you. See, if you write become, one is become user. So you can write become user. So that will be operating as a different user. If you just write become, this is what I did, right? So it run operations with become. It basically means, okay, where is it? Okay, does not imply password. So become will typically make sure that you become a root. You get the root privilege. That's what become is. If you write become user, then also you can become root, because become user is also by default root. Become is also by default root. So you can use anything of them. Just dash b also can be used. So I wrote become to make sure, because this particular command is not runnable with dash without sudo, right? But I want to run it without sudo. So I need to take the root privilege. That is why I made it become. Now, how did this thing work out? This thing worked out because the user that I am using for doing this, right? MariaDB server Y, right? So what am I using? I'm using a particular user, right? So if you remember, if I take you to the, cd etc Ansible, so there I had another file called Ansible configuration, where I had mentioned that what is the user for this particular Ansible host, right? When I'm trying to, not the host, I mean, yeah, the managed node. For the managed hosts, what are the users that I have to use? Now I was using EC2 user over here. If you scat a Ansible configuration, I was using EC2 user as the remote user. EC2 user has a permission to run root commands, sudo commands. That is why this thing worked out. If EC2 user in this machine did not have the sudo permission or to the privilege to run sudo commands, then you could not have done it, right? So you need this particular thing. That's basically the idea. So in order for you to become a root, you need to make sure that in the remote server, whatever the user you are using, that user has the privilege to become the root. Then only the become will work. Otherwise, just writing the become will not work if this EC2 user itself does not have the privilege to become the root. That is more or less the idea, right? Did you get the point what I told? If I am asking it to become the root, it needs to have the permission to become the root. And how that permission comes into picture, if you remember, we had the sudo visudo, right? In the visudo file, we had that in entry for EC2 user. That is by default there. That EC2 user can become a root. Correct? Are you able to connect to what I'm saying, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So that is one particular thing that you need to remember. All right. So let us go ahead and let us try to set up our first playbook, a very simple one, and slowly we shall try to make it much more complicated, right? But let us set up the first playbook for ourselves. So I'll go like, I'll create a new file, okay? I'll create a YAML file over here. So let me call this thing playbook1.yaml, right? So a very simple playbook I'm going to write now. It starts with 3 dashes, by the way. 1, 2, 3. This is where you need to start it. This is the first thing. And then you can go for like hosts. So you need to mention that for which hosts you are writing this particular task. Now the thing is, if you remember, I had called my host as web servers, right? I gave it the name web servers. Sorry, you don't need the square bracket here. You can just get rid of it. It's the host is web servers. And then you have to mention the tasks. So you can understand, see, whenever we write a dash, right, in YAML, that means you have a list of things. That means I can write down multiple hosts. If the host is coming with a dash, I can again write a host. So if I have multiple hosts, I want to give them multiple tasks. You remember, right? At that point of time, when Sunil was there in the meeting when I started today, and I guess other people already know this. So in the host file, right, the Ansible hosts, there you can write down multiple group of hosts, na? Web servers, and then let's say DB servers, then this and that. I already showed this thing, right? I think Bhagavan was also there. Ankit, you missed it. So these kind of these ways we can write the things over there. So you can write tasks for every single host. That is why these hosts come as a list. This is a list, right? When I put a dash, I can write it multiple times. That's a list.
It is only names, right?
Only
Names, right?
main what?
Names.
The name of the host, exactly. So whatever in the host file, the IP addresses are located below the names, that will be automatically populated while running it. They will automatically fetch it from there. So let's say the tasks I have to write down. Now I told you, right, you can combine multiple tasks. So each of these things that we should be writing, each of the host tasks we're going to write it, right? So here we are writing only one. Those are going to be my plays, individual plays. And because I can write multiple plays together, it is called a playbook. And each play, you can see again tasks. It is not called task, it is tasks, plural, right? We can write multiple tasks. So let's say I'm writing name, right, of the task. I'm calling it, let's say, install Java. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to install Java. That's basically the thing that I'm trying to achieve over here. And let's say how I want to do that. That also have to write, right? So remember this thing that if you're writing the name like this, you have to start the other one just under that. So not at the dash, okay? After the dash. So this is going to be, now the package manager you want to use, right? For doing this task, you have to mention that. I am going to use the EM package manager, right? So I'm writing that I'm going to use the EM package manager. So EM install what? EM install what? What you want to install? You have to write that. So you have to write down rightly this way. The name equals to Java. So whatever you shall write over here, it will be EM install Java. It has got nothing to do with this text, by the way. This is just, I mean, this can be anything. I can write down installation, of Java, right? So that is just a name. That is not a command. But here, the second line, when I'm writing EM, name equal to Java. So that means I'm talking about that they have to install Java. Okay, that's it. And since I wanted to install Java, I have just told that the package I want to use is Java, but I did not yet tell that what I want to do with that. What I want to do with that. I told that you have to do something with Java, but what? What is the thing? I want it to be, actually, see, this is one way, okay? I'll show you another way of writing also the same thing. Let's say I'm install Java. I want to install this particular thing. If you have to install this particular thing, then you have to write down state equals to present. Means I want Java to be present in the other machine, and please do it with the help of EM package manager. This is what we are writing. I want Java to be present in the other machine. On which machines? On the web servers. And please do that with the help of the EM package manager. Yes, I'm saving it. I'm trying to run it. Okay. So how do we run playbooks? So the command for running playbook is Ansible playbook, Ansible hyphen playbook basically, right? And then basically the file name, right? So let's say playbook1.yaml. Could not match the supplied host pattern, ignoring web servers. Okay, no host match. Let us find out what is the host name we had given. So sudo cat etc Ansible, and then we have another one. What is that? Hosts, right? We call it web server. The name did not match. Are, Ankit? Okay. So let me change the name. So Bhagavan got this point. The question you asked, right? The name has to match basically. So it is basically fetching on the basis of the name, correct?
Yeah, got it.
Now let us try to run it. Let us see. Okay. It will fail, see? Yes, I know it will fail, right? And there you go. So what it told, see, the first thing it did, it gathered the facts. The second thing it did, it tried to do the installation of Java, the task that we gave, right? Gathering facts is a task that it will always do. I mean, it is just trying to, get connected to this particular machine. That's it. It failed this particular thing. It could not do this thing. Why? Because you need to be root to perform this command. We did not do the become. We forgot to do the become root. Getting the point? So the question is, how do you become the root? It's very, very easy. See what you need to do. You just need to do, come back to your, one thing is that while running this thing, you can do a become over here. And you can run. Oh, sorry, become, the E is missing. This is one thing you can do. Let's wait for some time. Java is a big installation actually. By the way, if I just take you up over there till the point of time it is working, do we have become? Yes, I have become user. I think become should also be supported here. Is it? Oh, it failed. Okay, it's changed. Play recap, skip 0, failed 0. Okay, changed to 1. Okay, it didn't fail. Sorry, I buy this color. That is the problem because I typically use a send to S machine. There the color will be something else. So you can see OK equal to 2. 2 means what? 2 tasks, right? The first one was gathering facts. That will always be there. So even if you do not write anything, that will do. So that got OK. And this is changed. Changed is a state that comes after OK. If it is OK, then only it can be changed. That means now Java is installed over here. Now check it out. Which Java? And you got Java installed over here. So change means what? It's changed the state from unavailable to present. So Java initially was unavailable. It changed the state to present. That's what it did, right? So I have to add the word become to make sure that it actually becomes the root. Now the question is that what is the other option? Let me uninstall Java over here. So sudo yum remove Java so that we can run it once again. Okay, so I'm removing the Java. Remove, right? So if I now do which Java, will it come up? It still comes up because the reference is there, but if I try to do something like Java version, I think it will not work out. Let me check. Oh, it is still working. Also, the remove Java does not work, is it? Okay, I'm not very sure what is happening. Anyway, but let's say I want to install Java, right? So now one is that you are using this particular thing, you're telling that please become the root. What is the other thing you can do? Okay, come to your playbook. Oh, sorry, no, stop it. And to open up the playbook. Yeah. Come back over here. So this is one thing that you are telling that this is the particular thing I want to do. Another thing that you can do is that I don't know if this will work or not. Just try out remote user root itself. I'm writing remote user is root. I don't know if this will work because EC2 user, I don't think on Amazon Linux, EC2 user will be having a problem to actually switch the root user. Let us see if we can use this. If we can, then we are perfectly good to go. Let us see this. What happens? No. It's failing, right? It's failing. Permission denied. Okay, we cannot be the root, right? So a root at this thing, we do not have a permission to go. We have to go through EC2 user only, and then we have to just use a sudo command. That's the only way. If you had the root user added to your Ansible list, I mean the root user was added over there, and root had a login because the EC2 user does not have a login, right? There is no like a root user does not have a direct login. Root does not have a password also, I think. That is why this is not working. Otherwise, it would have worked. Another thing you can do, the user that you are choosing for these machines, you can promote them to root. How do I promote a user to root? By going to ysudo. See, I can promote them to root. Come over here. Come below this. Here, okay, no, okay, fine. EC2 user is already, this is not promotion. This is not promotion. This is just that I'm telling that EC2 user can do all these steps. I can promote it to root, I think, by adding it to percentage wheel or something. This group, I think I have to, add. So this group allows people in group wheel to run all commands. I have to add it to the wheel group, and like that I can do it. But anyway, leave it. We can easily do it by just adding the become command over here, right? So we are using the become, and we are perfectly able to do this particular task, right? So that is one. Now so this is just a very simple thing where what we are doing, we are trying to go over that. Another thing I told you, right, that I'll show you, that is, see this. Just delete this line. Instead of writing like this, name equal to Java, you can also do like this. Name. So you have to write within that basically. Then only it will work out. State present. This is another way. Either you write in the same line by putting equal to, or you write in the other only line, the bottom line, after putting a gap over here of 2 spaces. Remember, always there has to be two space, right? So this is basically 2 space over here. Here also 2 space has to be there. Everywhere, see, 2 space, always two space has to be there. So the name is Java and the state is present. This is also another way of doing things, right? In this way also we can do it. Now if I run it, you will see it is still working. Look at this. What happened? Found character that cannot start any token. Error. Line 6, column 1, but may elsewhere appear. Name em Java. Okay. So it is not allowing me to do it like that. Em name Java. But why? I mean, it should. Typically, it should. Okay. Hang on a second. Okay. Why it should not allow me? This looks like a very cool thing. Okay, version. There is a version issue. Okay, all the issues. For example, name update doing bash. There is a okay. Sorry. This didn't work out because I pressed a tab over here. I should have actually pressed spaces. Just look at the errors you can find out. Okay, because of tab, I have to go by pushing space. I cannot put a tab. That is the issue. Now I think it is fine. And here we go. So a tab you cannot press, even though you know that you have to press a tab, but you cannot press a tab. You have to press 8 space instead, right? So the tab is actually doing the problem. And here we go, right? So it is changed right now. Once again, you know, the Java is, you can see the same messages coming, right? So Java is reinstalled over here and we can once again use it, right? Fine, cool. Understanding, right? Understandable? Yes? Yes, no? Bakka?
Not Pakka, but somehow I am understanding. After practice only, I can do it.
Practicing you have to do always. Anyway, the when the projects when you will do, you will understand.
Okay.
Okay. So let us open up the playbook.yml once again, right? Or let's say let us create a new playbook.yml. Okay. So I'll create a new file. I'll call it vi playbook2.yml. Okay. Let us sorry. Once again write it down. So here, see what I want to do. I want to go a little bit extra this point of time. Okay. I want to go a little bit extra. So very simply yet. Okay. Okay. So what I want to see at this point of time, I'll be writing a playbook where I want to write multiple plays together. So if I'm writing multiple plays, I cannot really do like this. I have to go here like, I mean, you can do two also. Name, play one. Okay. I mean, you can write any way you want. Play one. Let's say name is, or let me call this thing. Yeah, fine. Play one is okay. So this is the first play we are writing, right? And then the exact thing will start, like hosts, everything will come after that. We have to use web server for that, right? I already told you it is web server. Then we got tasks, right? And let us say the task I want to do, oh, sorry. Let us say the task I want to do this point of time is going to be okay. Let's say let's execute a command, okay? So execute command, let's say, okay, date. I would just want to run date, okay? So if I write date, see what happens. It just shows you the date, that's it. This will be the output, okay? I mean, whatever the time is basically. So I have to execute the command date over here. So how can I write it? I can just go ahead and write down command date. Done. That's it. So let us write another task over here, right? So this is exactly what I told you. Multiple plays, each carrying multiple tasks. So this is very simple, but at least the template you are getting right. So let us say I want to execute, or maybe I want to install something. Okay, so install. Let's say Java. Let's say once again, right? The same thing we shall do. I'll just uninstall Java. Sudo remove, sorry, em remove Java. Once again, just see how we can club multiple things together. So I'm writing, name is install Java. What I want to do about it? Of course, I want to use the em package manager, em repository, right? And here comes name Java state present, right? That is one thing. And let's say I want to create another set of tasks. Okay, so another play, let's say. Okay, I'm writing name play 2 hosts. Once again, I want to run on web server. If you had multiple hosts, you can run multiple hosts. One task, one play for one host, one play for one host, like that. Okay. The name I want to take is, let's say, for example, uh, let's say, okay, let us install another thing. Install HTTPD. Okay, or let's install. Yeah, anything is fine. Let's say HTTPD, not an issue. I want to install HTTPD server. That is my task. We already know how to do this thing. I want to use the yum package manager, and the thing I want to install, that is called, the name is HTTPD, and the state is going to be present, right? I want to install it. Then I want to, let's say, write another play, another task, where I want to switch on the service of HTTP, because HTTP is installed, but I need to switch on the service, right? So switch on, or let's say start web server HTTPD service. Okay, something like this. Here, what I will do, and write down once again, I'm going to use the service package this time. Of course, I cannot use yum, right? So how do you write down? You write down service, sudo service something start, right? Sudo will be taken care by become. We already know this. Sudo will be taken care by become. So service something start. So that is a service package. Once again, name service what start HTTPD, right? And service HTTPD what the state we are looking for? We're looking for the started state. So here we wanted yum to ensure that HTTP is present, and here we wanted to use service to ensure that HTTP is started. Now I told you, if you remember, yesterday means day before yesterday. Yesterday the class didn't happen. I slept. I was so tired. I slept yesterday. So anyway, so day before yesterday when I told you this thing that uh, through Ansible you can kind of make sure that everybody is having also. In fact, throughout our DevOps, I had always told you that when you try to want to go for environment virtualization, you need to make sure that all your servers that you're running, everybody is having the same version of the same thing and all those things, right? This is how you do this. You need to just make sure that it is present. So let's say I need HTTP version 2.0, let's say. So there is, I mean, how do you install? I do not know. I think, okay, I can show you for this one. Let's say PHP. PHP a specific version I want to be present, right? Let me change it to, or let me create another play. Okay. Or let me create, let's say, another task over here. Another task over here for PHP, right? Install, or let's say ensure. How is there a landline phone over here? Ensure PHP version 7 is there, right? That's our task. How do you do it? Yum package manager. The name will be PHP 7.0. That's how it is written. I mean, that is the package name. So you're ensuring version 7, right? You do not want any other version. And you can go like state present. So if it is not present, it will install. If it is present, it will not install. That's how this thing works. Okay. When I'm saying that Java has to be present, does not mean it will anyway install Java. No, if Java is not there, it will install it. Otherwise, it will not. Right. So that's the benefit. It will not show you error that, oh, you tried to install Java, it is already there, it is an error. No, nothing like that. Try to install Java, it is already there. Wonderful, good to go. Start with the next. So we got 5 tasks over here, right? It is a little bit big thing. Oh, sorry, I need to put this dash over here, which I missed. Okay, so you got multiple plays over here. If it is one single play, you can write down 3 dashes on top. Otherwise, you have to go like this. Let us see. So I can write a command also. Sorry, not command. Comment also that this playbook is written for installing Java, HTTPD, and PHP 7, right? So something like this. You can write down comments. So that's a very big thing we have written so far. Let us try to run this one. So I'll go like Ansible playbook 2.yml. Now see this. Play 1 is starting, right? It is command date, it executed, right? Play 2, it is running, gathering facts, okay. Install HTTP service. Java took very less time because it is already there. Start web server HTTP service. Ensure PHP version 7. This thing failed. There is no package. Okay, PHP 7 there is not a valid name. Okay, now that is something I cannot help. I don't know what is the valid name for PHP 7. I think it is only PHP 7. Whatever it is, but you can see now it is failed equal to 1. So PHP 7.0 is not a valid name actually. I installed something that doesn't exist. Sudo yum install. This is what is happening. PHP 70 it is not called, right? So it says that no package is available.
हेलो
Tell me.
अरे विशाल वो कमांड रन कर लीजिए ना yum provides php करके और उससे फिर एग्जैक्ट वर्जन
जरूरत क्या है समझ गया हो ना you have understood the point, right? That's what I try to do. So and we're getting a failed also, so now we actually know that how the failed looks like, right? You got the point. My idea is to give you all the possible flavors that is there, right? So yeah, we can change the PHP. I think by default they are providing PHP version 5. By default yum comes with PHP 5.4 if I'm not wrong. PHP 5.4. If you install directly PHP, you will get 5.4. Let us just try it out once. Sudo yum install, or why shall I try it out? I can just change it over here, right? So let's say this thing failed. I want to edit this and I want to just remove the word version 7.0 because it probably comes with version 5. So I'll just write PHP. Okay. So I'm not going for version 7 anymore. I'm writing it once again. Let's see. The previous things are already installed. It will not reinstall them. Just it will okay, going like that. And here is the PHP installation. And this happened this time, right? So now everything has been done. So just come over here. Let's see which PHP, right? It works. Your HTTPD service, sudo service HTTPD status. It is running, right? Active running. 1 minute 57 seconds ago. That means it proves it did not run over here. It ran over here only because if this was the case, it would be less than 1 minute. Just now I did it. So this is running, right? Java is there. And we are controlling the entire machine. You want to uninstall something, you can just go to state unavailable, right? And it is gone. So every single, nobody uninstalls stuffs like that. But anyway, if you want to do so, you can still do so, right? So this is how you write down your, typical playbooks, right? Let us try to write down a little bit more critical playbook, the last one for us. I'll not go for multiple plays because you know how to handle multiple plays, but I'll write in one single play, but it will be a little bit more critical compared to what I wrote just now over here, okay? So let me create a new playbook with the name VI. Oh, sorry, I'm writing it here. Oh, I want it here. VI playbook 3.yml, right? Look at this, what I'm doing. I'll start with dash 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 because I would just want to have only one single play over here, right? The host is going to be web server. Okay. And then look at this. I can mention variables, vars. Okay. In the variable, I can mention the ports and all those things. Okay. See, HTTP port 80. So this is the variables that you want to mention basically, right? So max clients. How many clients you want to support maximum? Let's say 50. Achha. Then I can mention the remote user as I was trying last time, right? Remote user. I can go for EC2 user. Now that is written in the configuration file. If that is not written over here, it will take it from here. EC2 user. Okay. Tasks. Now the tasks part anyway, you already know how to write it. Name is going to be, let's say, ensure HTTPD is in the latest version. Okay. Something like this. How do I go to do that? Write down. Okay. Write down yum, and once again name is HTTPD, and your state is latest. If you write down latest, it will be the latest version always, right? So if it is not latest, it will install, it will make it latest basically, right? Okay. So after this, let's say I want to go for okay. Let me put the dash over here. I missed it. Okay. And fine. So let us say, for example, I want to let us do something more actually. I mean, mm, okay. Let us go for the this service starting. Okay. So let's do that. So like service start for HTTPD. Sorry, yum, sorry, not yum, service, and once again we can write in same line as I showed you, if you remember the last time, right? Name equal to HTTPD and state equal to, let's say, started, right? So that will start this particular Apache service, right? So this is one thing, this is one particular thing that you can do, right? And you can also, if you want to, like, have it like in on startup, you can go like enabled equal to yes, right? That is also another thing I can do, right? Name is HTTPD start is started, enabled is yes, so that every time you restart your server, it will automatically restart the Apache also. That is one particular thing. And another thing that we can do is that this is not exactly required. I think this much if you do, the VATS part is something that you require to do, right? Okay. I will tell you this one. This is a little advanced, but anyway, know this thing. I don't know if you will ever use this particular thing, but just know it. There is something known as handlers. Okay. Apart from tasks, we can also write down handlers. Handlers are basically just like tasks. Okay, there is not much difference between handlers and tasks. But this handler will only be run if this particular task, whatever you're writing, that has got a notify directive. Notify. Okay, means see how it is to, so that is like connection between task and handler. Okay, let me first write down the handler, you will understand. Okay, so it is just like a regular task, just like a typically how you know, right? Let's say this is the task. Okay, I want to just put it over here. Okay, I want to put it over here, and let us say I do not want to write this task over here. So this restarting part or starting part, whatever. Let's say I'm calling this thing restart. Okay, so it is restarted. So that something goes wrong, I can always restart. So I do not need to whatever I'm doing, I do not need to write down one task every single time saying that restart every single time, right? Because I am installing something, I need to restart. I am putting, let's say, a new file within that, I need to restart. So every single time I need to restart. I don't want to write the restart command multiple times repetitively. I want to just keep it somewhere and call it every single time. Just like you know, people do function calling in programming, right? Something like that. You don't need to know no programming. I'm just giving an example. So I want to call this restart every single time, right? So how can I do that? So when I'm writing a task, I need to make sure I've written everything. I need to write down notify. Okay, write down notify. Whom you want to notify? You want to notify to the this service, this one, whatever service you have called it, right? Service. Actually, let us just give it a better name because this is just so bad. Let me call this thing HTTPD restart, something like this, so that we can understand that it is a handler. Typically in handler, I mean the practice we used to follow, we'll always put an underscore in the handler name because that is understandable much more easier. HTTPD restart, right? So I have to run HTTPD restart every single time I'm doing something. So here I'm just doing one thing. So you can write multiple tasks like this. Let's say no. You can just paste it. So let's say this is another task, right? So there are two tasks. In both the cases, you can call the same notify. So this handler will be called both the times, right? But anyway, let us just go for only one task, because the same thing I'm writing. Now if I run this thing, syntax error, line 20, column 15 here, offending line. Hang on a second. So this underscore or dash, underscore is not supported. Do you need to use dash or something? But why is this thing happening? Wait a second. Is there any spacing issue? Ah, yes. It has to go here. No, still not. It is telling at that point. How can that be a wrong? Wait. I think it has to come left hand side, right? It has to come here. Not it. It should not go there. It should come here. The spacing issue. And see, it says okay too, right? So ensure HTTP latest version, that is also done. And the handler is not being mentioned over here, right? Because handler is not like a task. It is not mentioned, but it acts like a task, but only it is, I mean, by default that is not called as a task. I mean, Ansible playbook will never call a handler by itself. It will only be called if that is notified. If I had not written this notify command over here, let's say this notify, playbook by default will never execute this. If you are calling it over here, you're asking to notify, then only it will notify this guy that hey, you have to execute, right? So now it is enabled. So if I just check this particular thing, right, you can see that this particular thing is working, right? So anyway, it was running already. So we'll just stop the server and we'll check it once again. So let's say sudo service httpd stop. Okay, done, gone. Now let us try to run this one. Oh, it is not running. What happened over here? It is inactive. All right. Wait a second. What happened? I'm calling the notify, so it should come over here. After doing the yum part, it should come to this particular part, and it should actually go for doing this particular thing. So what is breaking over here? I don't see anything breaking actually. HTTP restart, HTTP restart. Acha, wait a second. State is restarted. Let me call it started. I don't know if okay. Wait a second. No, I'm writing here. Wait a second. Let me make it started instead of restarted. It's not starting. The notify action is not working for some reason. It is unable to notify that it has to do it. Okay, have I what have I done? Are. What have I done? What is going wrong? Tasks name, then basically the repository, yum repository we are using, that I'm writing over there, and then I'm writing that you have to notify this particular service, and that's it, right? So why is this particular thing is not running, right? Okay, wait a second. Huh? Okay. Okay. Fine, fine, cool, cool, cool. Okay, wait a second. Let me try to put this name on the, put another task for enabled part, right? So this service enabled equals to, let's see, yes. Okay, so this is what we want to do. We want to add another service that will, like, kind of just make sure that this particular thing is working. Now I will have, am I missing some spacing or some issues going on somewhere? Maybe yes, maybe no. Just delete all these gaps that I have. The gaps are anyway not do any problem. Enable failed, right? Okay, that means the notify is not working. It is not. A missing parameter. You got to enable this name. Oh, I did not write the name. Okay, sorry. Oh, the name I forgot to write. What it needs to enable, it doesn't know. Okay, now let us see if it is working or not. No, it is still not running. So the notify is, for some reason, the notify is not working basically, right? Wait a second. Hang on a second, just a second. Okay. I need to figure this out. Why this particular handler is not getting called? More or less for me, the things look very much cool actually, but this handler is not called. I mean, this is the exact syntax, the way we do it, but for some reason this handler is not working out. I can just try to search it on Google or somewhere. Hang on a second, just let me see. Handlers not working playbook. I can find out a solution quickly. Why is Ansible notify not working? Okay, handlers notify task to report change state. Okay, fine, cool. Got the point. Sorry about it. It will only work if this task, see, yeah, my bad, sorry. uh, this particular add to enable is fine. Whichever task is calling that task should be in a changed state. So if something is changing, then only it should be called, and that is true, right? I want to restart only if something is changed. I am also telling something wrong. Okay, when do you want to restart? You want to restart when something is changed. If there is nothing changed, why will it restart? It should not. The stopping I did it from here, right? Okay, see, understand. Let us say um, I'm uninstalling HTTP. Okay, sudo yum remove HTTPD -y. Now see. Now let us try to run this. Then you will see that it is being called. This one should come in changed. The task should come in changed, and that is changed. This time, see, running handler, right? HTTP restart. The task did not change that point of time. That is why it was not running. It was my bad. When I wrote it, it was already installed. So it was always coming in okay state. And I was thinking that the call is not happening. The call will only happen if the task is changing, right? So if there is no change, it should not restart. That is basically the logic. So now if you check this thing, this particular one, so it is so sudo service HTTP status, you'll find out that it is actually up and running, right? Got the point, guys? Yes. Hello.
Yeah, okay. So, hello.
Maybe fine, it's fine. It's fine to hear.
Yes. Huh.
So it first install the STDPD.
Huh.
So when it is changed to change state, then again that it went to the handler. So so handler again restarted that service, right?
The handler restarted the service, exactly. The HTTP service was not started only. The handler first time restarted, because if you see my playbook, the HTTP service I'm not run or not starting anywhere else. See, I just gave the HTTP latest over here, and I send it to restart, and then I add it to re-enable. So it will come here, it will go to restart, it will finish this job, it will come back, and then it will again go to this one. Okay, so the
Okay.
only start command that is being fired is here. There is no start over here. So if I don't have this notify, the service will not start. Okay,
Okay.
so that is what I did. Fine, clear everybody. I'll stop the session over here for today. Right? Any doubt? Are we all clear on Ansible? You'll be able to work on Ansible, right?
अभी अभी वो बचा हुआ है ना, विग्रंट करके कुछ होता है एनसिबल में,
क्या चीज?
VEGRANT।
वैग्रेंट आपके सिलेबस में है क्या? एक सेकंड रुको जरा,
पता नहीं, मैं
चेक
बस
करता
पूछ
हूँ।
लिया आपसे।
अच्छा रुको रुको रुको, नहीं मैं इसलिए कह रहा हूँ क्योंकि टिपिकली वैग्रेंट होना नहीं चाहिए, अगर होता है तो मैं कराता हूँ। वो एनसिबल सर्टिफिकेशन कोर्स में आता है, डेवऑप्स में नहीं आता है।
अच्छा अच्छा, मैंने नहीं देखा है, सिलेबस नहीं देखा मैंने, तो ऐसे ही पूछ लिया बस।
नहीं मैं देख लेता हूँ, रुक जाओ,
जी।
मैं देख लेता हूँ। I don't think it is there. Syllabus. No, it is not there.
ओके
नहीं,
ठीक है।
ये एंसिबल सर्टिफिकेशन का एक ट्रेनिंग कोर्स होता है, उसमें आता है। वो खुद ही शायद 54 घंटे का कोर्स है, नहीं 54 नहीं, वो 36 घंटे का कोर्स है, उसमें आता है वो, उसमें सब कुछ होता है।
अच्छा विशाल, मुझे एक क्वेश्चन का आंसर दीजिए।
हम्म,
हम लोग के प्रोडक्शन में ना हम लोग एक इन्वेंटरी फाइल क्रिएट करते हैं, ठीक
वो
है?
हमने भी किया ना।
हाँ, तो ये जो प्लेबुक फाइल है यही अपनी इन्वेंटरी फाइल है ऐसा?
नहीं 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 नहीं, वो जो होस्ट फाइल है अपनी इन्वेंटरी फाइल है।
अच्छा अच्छा ठीक है ठीक है।
होस्ट फाइल, होस्ट में ये आपने ये देखा नहीं, रुको मैं आपको दिखाई देता हूँ। अगर आप इसमें जाओगे, etc व्हाट इज दैट, एंसिबल,
एनसिबल।
इसमें अगर आप जाओगे, आप अगर होस्ट को कैट करोगे, ये देखो ऐसे लिखा जाता है, वेब सर्वर स्क्वायर ब्रैकेट, उसके नीचे सारे वेब
एग्जैक्टली,
सर्वर
उसमें पूरा सर्वर का आईपी और
आईपी
उसका
एड्रेसेस
नेम
होते
रहता है।
हैं।
करेक्ट करेक्ट।
एग्जैक्टली एग्जैक्टली। आप ये भी कर सकते हो। अच्छा आपको मैं एक बात बता दूं, और जस्ट टू कंक्लूड एंसिबल, ये भी देख लो। ये एक चीज होती है कि आप कॉन्फ़िगरेशन में लिखे भी ना, आप यहाँ पे भी लिख सकते हो इसके बाद कि एंसिबल यूजर इक्वल टू और फिर EC2 यूजर, ये ऐसे भी लिख सकते हो। दिस ऑल्सो वर्क्स आउट, दिस इज ऑल्सो अनदर फॉर्मेट। तो या तो आप कॉन्फ़िगरेशन में लिखो, या फिर प्लेबुक में लिखो, या फिर यहाँ भी लिखो, कहीं भी लिखो, तीनों जगह लिख दो। मतलब बस तो प्रेजेंट होना चाहिए इन तीनों में से कहीं ना कहीं एटलीस्ट, तब जाके वो यूजर को उठाएगा। ठीक है, ये
ठीक
भी
है,
एक तरीका।
समझ गया।
तो इसमें ऐसे करोगे तो फायदा क्या होता है, अगर आप मल्टीपल सर्वर से सबके अलग अलग यूजर्स है, वो भी आप मेंशन कर सकते हो बगल बगल में सबके। यू कैन कीप ऑन राइटिंग एवरीबॉडीज यूजर्स टू द राइट हैंड साइड ऑफ ईच ऑफ देम। ये एक फायदा होता है। बट इफ यू आर राइटिंग इन कॉन्फ़िगरेशन फाइल, देन इट इज लाइक वन यूजर and for everybody, whatever servers you're having. Here if you're writing, you can write everybody's individual usernames. Otherwise you can go to your playbook, and there also you can remote user for every every group of servers you can write it. So here if you are writing, you can write it for every server. If you are writing in configuration for all the servers, only one, and you write on playbook for each group of servers, you can have one remote user. So do not think it is the same thing given three places, because we have only one group of servers and only one single server, that is why it appeared so. But here if you write, you can write for every single server, जितने भी servers आएंगे ना आपके, ऐसा वाला सर्वर है तो उसका भी आपने कुछ लिख दिया यूजर नेम, और एक सर्वर पड़ा हुआ है आपने उसका कुछ लिख दिया यूजर नेम. So you can keep on writing like this. So every server will have their own users. That is one thing. You write in default, no matter how many groups of servers and whatever servers, everybody will having the same username. You write in playbook, each group you can differentiate with different users. Got the point?
समझ गया हाँ।
That's it for today and for Ansible. Monday we're going to sit for Terraform. This Saturday Sunday practice कर लो थोड़ा सा. Monday we're going to sit for Terraform. Probably Monday we'll see if we can finish, or maybe Monday or Tuesday, whatever it takes. And then I'll explain the projects. Now when I told for this batch, right, for Ankit, your batch, when I told that I'll explain the AWS project, nobody listened to me. Nobody turned up for, nobody was interested to do the projects. So I will describe that one also, only for you, or let's say anybody who is joining from your batch, not for everybody, because that is something that was pending for you people. Okay. All
ठीक है
right.
चलेगा।
Chalo, cool. I'll stop it over here. Bye bye. Tada.
ओके बाय बाय, थैंक यू।
Yeah. Thanks. Thank you everybody.